You guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just going to be running a few benchmarks, nothing fancy. I recently updated the Windows 10 to the 2004 May update, so just want to make sure everything's still stable, see what kind of scores I'm getting, and of course you guys can see the software I'm using, settings I'm using, and of course you can also measure your scores against mine if that's something that you're interested in. So start off with the specs using the RTX 2080 Ti from NVIDIA. Mine's water cooled using the Galax 380 watt BIOS. So it does help with stability because I play at 4K. For those who don't know, the higher the resolution you play, the more stress it puts on the card, and generally overclocks that you could run at 1440p. At 4K, the clocks will start backing off. So you need a really good BIOS to keep those clocks really stable. The Galax 380 watt BIOS for me seems to be the best one. They're running at 2145 megahertz. Put 700 megahertz on the memory. Can push it to 800 or 900, but generally can run into stability issues. So I'm trying to stick at 700. Voltage is a custom curve. So I've got my voltage pinned just around 1150, 1110 maybe. So if anyone wondering what voltage I'm using, that's pretty much it. So in terms of the CPU, I'm using the Intel i9 9900K. Recently eclipsed by the 10900K, that just came out recently, but it's not something I'm interested in. I'm gonna wait for Intel's new offerings or AMD's new offerings. So running at 5.1 gigahertz. I'm using 1.43 volts. Yes, it's high, but believe me, I had no issues, and I'm using custom water cooled loop, so everything's nice and cool. Actually, I may as well just get up core temp just so you can kind of see my idle temp. So I'm idling in the 30s at the moment. For anyone that's curious, like really good temps actually. In terms of memory, I'm using, my memory's not great. Like I've got terrible timings, but Intel CPUs don't benefit from timing so much as AMD, so I kind of wanted for the megahertz. Plus I play at 4K, so it's not really a big deal. So I'm running at 33 megahertz, and those are the timings. And my cache ratio is at 4.8 gigahertz. And of course, just the CPUZ showing off all of the RTX 2080 Ti stats. So yeah, let's get into it. No OSD today. I'm gonna get rid of all of this stuff because I'm running benchmarks. I don't really want to have excess applications running in the background. So let's start off with something to do with the CPU. I think I'll go with Cinebench R20. Now this is the newest version of Cinebench. So this actually has, I believe it's got some AVX instructions, so it will stress your CPU. So there is any stability issues you will get found out. So let's get it going. We'll start with the multi-core, and I'll do a single core. Of course, I'll speed some things up after I do all of this, so it's easier for you guys to watch. So let's start with this multi-core score and see what I do. Okay guys, so the Cinebench R20 test is finally complete. So for multi-core, I got 5,363 points. Don't even know how good that is. And single core got 531. So that's what I'm working with right now. So you guys can kind of look at what your systems are getting and can kind of relate. So we'll move on to something else now. So let's try something graphically related. So I'm gonna run maybe a 3D Mark Firestrike. Everyone seems to have Firestrike, so not really something that you'd have to go out and buy. So I'm gonna quickly go. Have to launch it through Steam. I launch it in 64-bit mode. This. I've paid for the full version, so I can run all the benchmarks without demos. So I'll do Firestrike, and I might do Time Spy a little later. We'll see. So yeah, no custom run or anything like that. Literally just not using the demo. That's all. So let's see how I do in Firestrike. No OSD as well, because that can have a slight effect on your score. So I'm going to be disabling it for this video. So there you have it, guys, all live. No smoke, no mirrors, nothing left to question. Graphics score 4,659, which is where I expected it to be, so I'm happy with that. Graphics score 25,937 and a combined score 11,824. I actually saw someone post in my 3900X video, I think it was a 3800X at 4.45 gigahertz, and they actually got a better physics score than me and possibly a better combined score, and they're using that with the 5700XT. So I don't know, the i9 it is good, but it certainly has competition now, which is really, really good to see. So let's move on. Go with Geek Bench, another free benchmarking tool you can download. It does have a GPU side of things, but we're going to deal with the CPU part. So this is the free version, as you can see. So I'm just going to use the 64-bit architecture, run the CPU benchmark, and it goes through a series of tests, and then it gives you like a single threaded score and then a multi-threaded score. And of course, you guys can kind of do your own comparison and kind of work out where you guys stack up. So I already know a few of you guys that got better PCs than me, so I'll be interested to see what you guys are running. So let's get on to it. So that is the Geek Bench 4 complete now. So you can see it gives you a single threaded score and it gives you a multi-core score. So I've got 6,737 on the single core score, and I've got around 3,000 or 39,798 on the multi-core score. So I don't know how good that is for multi-core anymore. The 3900X takes that apart. Single core though, I think that's pretty strong. So you guys can let me know what you're getting and use this as a reference. I'm just going to scroll down so you guys can see the individual stats. So there was all these different types of benchmarks that were run, similar to what you would expect to see in I can't remember what benchmark it is, but it goes through all of these tests. They seem to be quite well, I would say a popular test to do when it comes to CPU performance. So yep, I'm okay with that. I'm more just to make sure everything's still stable. The Windows 10 2004 update has caused a few issues on my streaming and recording PC. It did cause issues with my AVerMedia Live 4K capture card. It caused issues with the sounds. I had to roll back, but luckily I only use that for recording, so doesn't really matter about playing games too much. Okay, let's move on. So I want to use Performance Mark now. This is a software made by Passmark. Very good software. They actually have a massive database. So if you kind of want to know where your CPU stacks up, this will give you a good score to kind of go against. And I'm just going to run, there's so many tests, I'm not going to do them all. I'm just going to run the CPU side of things, and I'll run the memory side of things, and I'll leave this software at that, and then I'll move on to something else. So we'll start with the CPU test, see how we do. So there you go, very quick test. Scored 4,316, and that is better than 75% of all scores on the database as well. So that's not too bad, and it gives you individual scores as well. So a score on the available RAM, etc. So you can kind of use that to gauge if your overclock's better or worse. So not too bad there. And that's pretty much it for Passmark. So CPU 2001 or 21,637, and memory mark 4,316. So close to wrapping things up now. I'm just going to do the CPUZ test now. Depending on the version, it does play an effect on your score. So I'm using 1.92.0. So bear that in mind if you want to do like for like comparisons with what I'm getting. You have to use version 1.92.0. So I'm just going to do the bench. It will just do a multi-core test, and then it will do a single thread test. So see how that goes. Okay, so the results, very quick test. So 604.3, sorry, on the single core test, 5,837.9 on the multi-core test. Now I know the single core test is pretty good, but you can actually see how you did by going to submit and compare. So what that will do, bring up a web page. where you'll see your results. So it will tell you what you scored. So multi-thread and your single thread. If you just click on new, it will bring you to a chart where you can see your actual scores against other CPUs. So against a normal 9900K, I guess my single core is considerably higher. 604 is actually leading the pack. There's nothing here that beats it, but there isn't any of the new Intel CPUs here to go up against yet. So I'm not too happy, but I do remember having a 5960X at one point, so it's good to see I'm kicking that thing to the curb. So that's nice to see. Also had an 87 100K as well. I'm getting way more than that as well, so that's nice to see. But these are probably running at stock, so that's something to consider. Multi-thread now, doing okay, just under the 9900KS. So that's interesting. Beating the Freddy 800X, but that could be running at stock. It doesn't really tell you what the overclock settings are, but this is how you can kind of see generally how good your CPU is. As you can see, the AMD Ryzen 3800X is a very, very good CPU, and 9900K and 2700X now kind of showing its age. Not the best investment in terms of performance. I had higher hopes for this, but I'm looking forward to what AMD has in the future. That's CPUZ out the way now. Okay guys, I'm just going to wrap things up with a GPU benchmark, as I've done quite a lot of CPU benchmarks. So one of my favorite is the Final Fantasy 15 benchmark. So I'm going to run that, and I'm going to try and put the GPU under as much stress as possible. So I'll be running this at high quality, 3840 by 2160, and I'll be running this at full screen. And I'll leave you guys with that. So of course you guys can download this from I'll put a link to the description in every single benchmark I'm using, so you guys can download it if you don't already have it. And yeah, you guys can see the final score and let me know what you get in the comment section below.
You're good. You're good. You're good. And stop. See you around.
Time to go. Mm-hmm. Easy now. Thanks for the ride.
Aw, thanks, buddy.
So there you have it, guys. 7,280. That's my score, which is really good. Actually, that actually beats out a Titan RTX. And as you can see, GPU staying nice and cool, 45 degrees maximum. And I've had my RTX 2080 Ti for 20 months now, so just 4 months shy of 2 years, and it's still running like a champ. So I'm very happy with the durability. There were some issues with some samples of the RTX 2080 Ti at launch, but my one has been perfectly fine throughout. Looking forward to Big Navi and RTX 380 or 390, whatever they decide to call it. So I'm very much looking forward to my upgrade now. But that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.